No, I don't really have a question, Sam, but I just wanted to say thanks for everything that you do, even God Logic as well. I had the opportunity last month to go on a couple of his lives in the guest box, and I had denounced Islam on December 18th, 2025. So
You renounce Islam?
I did. I did.
Did you convert to Islam?
I reverted in 2024.
So you didn't last more 2 years. Lord Jesus Christ, you left that filthy,
2 years,
wicked religion.
yeah. Well, I'm 29 years old now, and I had always been intrigued at the time about Islam since I was 17 years old. And the masjid and the community as a whole that I had always kept in touch with um, wasn't really a good experience as a whole. There were some interesting sketchy brothers that I had come across that definitely made me question Islam a lot. But then on the other side of the coin, I wanted to keep the root of the faith and, just to continue to dive and dig in on my own. But I wasn't getting the answers that I was needing. But like I said, it was just a constant coin flip. Like, okay, I'm seeing a lot of cons here, but for some odd reason at the same time, the religion was bringing me peace at that time in my life. And I was like, I have to keep digging. I have to keep digging. And I was getting nowhere. It was like I was literally a mole constantly digging different routes with no ending. And when I had finally came across God Logic and, seeing your videos pop up and David Wood, and you guys were always constantly debating the Muslims, I'm like, okay, now let me kind of take my route this way and see what's going on both sides. And what was interesting overall, like I said, being intrigued about it since I was 17 and I'm 29 now, when I seen God Logic and, you and David Wood and everybody else bringing it up about the El Zoot hadith and the marriage and the marriage controversy with Muhammad and Aisha, I put this on a polygraph test and I put this on God. Out of the years that I had always been intrigued, and even when I reverted in 2024, I had never knew the whole age difference, the gigantic, sickening age difference of Muhammad and Aisha or the Al Zu Hadith. I had never knew anything about it. And when I had jumped into God Logic stream a couple of times, like I said last month, I had took that information and brought it to the Sheikh. And I was like, hey, man, like I'm having some concerns here. And interesting enough, when I had drove back to the mosque to bring this information to him, I was there prior that same evening to finish off the evening prayer. I went back home and I was like, man, like this is just really bothering me. I was like, you know what? I'm going to drive back down to the mosque. Maybe Sheikh is having like a late night study to himself since he's in college. Let me go see if he's there. Sure enough, he was there. And I was like, okay, this must be a sign. So I go in and I'm like, hey, Sheikh, salam alaikum, all that, salami bacon stuff. We have a conversation. We have a conversation and sit down. And I was like, hey, I need to bring something to your attention. I'm having some concerns. And he's like, yeah, sure. What's going on? I said, have you ever heard of the hadith of Al Zut? And according to him, he said he never knew or heard of what it was, but he wanted some explanation and elaboration. And I told him about it. I said, hey, like, I heard that Muhammad had this little companion scroll writer named Ibn Masud who tagged along with him. And then, say again?
Yeah, Ibn Masud. So yeah, when he showed it to him, what did he say?
Yeah, and I told him that whole story, and he was like, nope, that's blasphemy. That's propaganda from the Christians. That hadith is weak. It's not authentic. I've never heard of it. Do you have any other questions? And I said, okay. I said, so what about the whole marriage controversy with Muhammad and Aisha? Yeah. Muhammad at that time was in his late 50s. He had married Aisha at 6 and physically fondled her at the age of 9. I said, what is going on with this? I was like, is that another weak hadith? Is this false? Is this propaganda? Like, what's your response? And he goes, well, I'm going to be completely honest with you. That was God's will, and it was allowed. And it took a lot of holding back internally the moment I had to process that to just not physically go off on him for condoning pedophilia. And I asked him out loud rhetorically, I said, so you're telling me that God permitted a full-grown late
Yeah.
50-year-old man to do this to a kid. And he said, well, are the prophets perfect? And I said, dude, I was like, you know what? I said, the prophets have their own stories, but nothing like this. So I was like, well, I'm going to ask you my other question then, more on the Christian side. I said, who is Isaiah chapter 53, verse 3-5 talking about? And I was like, is it Jesus? And he's like, well, I have no experience or knowledge with the Bible, but we're going to call one of the brothers that does. So we called him, explained all of this all over again. And the first thing out of his mouth was, don't trust the Christians. They're nasty. Don't trust this God logic. I see all the debates on YouTube. Brother Boers. Well, I mean, obviously he said my actual name, but for the sake of the live stream, he goes, Brother Boers. Yeah. He's like, don't trust them. And the whole thing with Isaiah 53, 3-5, it has nothing to do with Jesus. It's just talking about the old covenant and the new covenant of the Jews. And, either way, after concluding all that conversation, I walked back out. I said, hey, Sheck, have a good night. I'll see you next time, which I already knew in my head I was never going back. I drove down the road. There was a Christian church literally down the street. I go in there. The janitor lets me in. And I said, hey, man, like, I know this is kind of awkward. It's after hours. Can I just sit in the chapel for a little bit? I just need to reflect on some things. He's like, yeah, go ahead. So he waited in the lobby for me while I, went in there, and I literally asked God. I was like, I need some guidance, especially after what just happened. If you are real, show me something, because I've been intrigued about Islam for a long, long time. Just trying to pave a path of my own, even though I've had a lot of bad experiences within the community. But I'm still trying to keep the faith with this. But obviously, after the responses that I got tonight, please guide me in the direction, that I need to get to. So I left the chapel and I told the janitor, I said, hey, thanks for letting me utilize the chapel for the night. And there was a couple gentlemen that came out of this corridor within the chapel, and one of them was actually the pastor. And, I just kind of recapped with him what was going on. And I just said, hey, I'm just trying to, seek guidance. If you have a free Bible or like a little scripture pamphlet, can I have one? So he gave me a free Bible and also just like a little pamphlet of some sort of the Gospels. And yeah, I went back to God Logic stream and I told him everything that happened, and I denounced it on December 18th, 2025. So,
all right. Glory to Jesus. Now grow in your faith, understanding of the faith, man, and be a witness. But learn your faith first and be faithful, bro. Shoot.
I'm trying. The Bible that I have currently, here, let me go grab it in the kitchen real quick.
Yeah, there's also Bibles online, like BibleGateway.com.
Okay, I will definitely jot that down.
BibleGateway.com is right, the one I'm using right here. BibleGateway.com. It has dozens of versions, all for free right here. BibleGateway.com.
Okay, got that. So, and then the one that I do have is The Message, the Bible in Contemporary Language by Eugene Peterson.
That's a very paraphrase. It's a paraphrase. So if you want, I'm going to send it to you in private chat. Start reading NIV. It's a little more literal, but it's a paraphrase. Your way up. All right?
Okay. Sounds good. Well, thank you.
And watch the material and learn your faith, brother.
Sounds good, brother. Well, it's good to finally meet virtually. Keep doing what you're doing. Jesus has always had his hand on you, and, I pray that he does the same for me. So
he has his hand on you. That's why he didn't let you go and you came back. So, of course, he'll never leave nor forsake you. So get faithful, get strong, and grow, my brother.
Whoa. What is the topic? Can you tell me?
I'm responding to Sheikh Hussein Bolt Uthman, appealing to the Gospel of John to prove Jesus is not God.
Well, I think this is a very bad argument, to be honest with you.
From who?
From Uthman.
Well, I'm glad. So then there's no debate. So what do you need to talk about? We're talking about, that's the topic.
Well, I just wanted to discuss the conception of God in Christianity, if you don't mind.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I'm not kidding you. You're a Christian apologist.
Yeah, but your Quran is a joke, and it confirms the Bible, which means that Allah of the Quran is Satan. So how come you don't want to talk about your Satan? Why do you run from him?
Right. So do you want to have an actual conversation, a respectful conversation?
You want to actually engage me, because you cowards run to the Bible, but you can't defend your own God. Your Quran confirms the Bible, and the Bible says that your God is Satan. He's the Antichrist. Why do you run from that?
Well, you had a topic, and your topic was Uthman, refuting Uthman's
Yeah,
argument.
because we're talking about the Trinity from the Bible. So if the Trinity is taught in the Bible, that means your God Allah is Satan. What are you not getting?
No, I'm saying that you can make a cumulative case from the Gospels that Jesus is portrayed as a divine being. I didn't deny that.
And that
But
cumulative case means that your Quran is portraying Satan as God. What are you not getting? So if you just admit the Gospels affirm that Christ is a divine being, that means Muhammad is an Antichrist because he denied that. What are you not getting?
Well, to me, what you're saying right now is that you don't want to engage with the metaphysics of the
What I'm
Trinity.
telling you is that you are a coward, son of Satan, because you don't want to deal with your prophet confirming the Bible, because the Bible means that your prophet is
I literally just came in and you're just insulting me for no reason.
I literally did. Do you understand the logic? If the Bible confirms the Trinity and your prophet confirms the Bible, that means he denied the Trinity. He's an Antichrist, son of Satan. Are you that stupid? Because you're appealing to logic. Do you understand what logic is?
No, I think the Islamic dilemma is a stupid argument, to be honest with
I
you.
think you're stupid and can't refute it. Prove me wrong.
I think I can refute it.
Are you foaming at the mouth like your prophet? Prove me wrong. Your Quran does not confirm the Bible.
All right, so go ahead and make your argument. I'm listening.
You said it's stupid. Show me why it's stupid. Let's see if you even know what the argument is.
Yeah, go ahead. List out your premises. Then I'm going to point out what the authenticity is.
Refute. You said it's stupid. That means you know the argument. Give me the argument and tell me why it's stupid. You just said it.
Right, so there will be two presuppositions. Number one, that the Quran...
This guy who's appealing logic, it's killing me, because if you're logical, you would not follow Muhammad. But I'm going to use your logic to bury your prophet. But go ahead. Yeah, what are the two premises?
Right, so just before I continue, can you be respectful?
Can you? No, I can't respect your prophet. He didn't respect humanity. He said, "Go bite your father's penis off."
No.
Stop appealing to sympathy. Get to the argument.
To you. I didn't insult you.
Get to the argument. Stop being
insulting
like your prophet.
Can you insult you? That's the easiest thing.
Stop barking like your prophet.
Get
to the argument before I piss on your Quran. Get to the argument.
All right, son of Satan. So the argument would be,
your mother is a son of a Shia whore. Go ahead.
Yeah, your mother is a whore.
Shut up, you bitch. There you go. Change the title to reflect that we did address modalism. Now, forgive me, guys, when the old Sam has to show up, because these Muslim narcissists who want to gaslight are the first, if they have the upper hand, they will behead you. They will then molest your women, even married women, molest children. And they want to play the victim. Don't insult Muhammad when Muhammad is a dog burning in hell who insulted humanity with his teachings. I did sessions on how filthy and foul-mouthed Muhammad is, but I may have to do it again to teach them, stop gaslighting, playing narcissist. Your dog Muhammad insulted people, cussed them out, as did his companions. Don't then whine and complain when we give him and you dogs a taste of your medicine. Okay, let me show you how foul-mouthed Muhammad was. All right, before you go. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Minute, by the way. It's on my website too. Minute, seen it, win it, one away. You know that guy, what's his name? Aaron Kelly? He was a great Muslim because he preyed on young girls like Muhammad did. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Beat it, mile away. Okay. Let me see if I can find it today. Let me show you how filthy mouth he was. Here you go, right here, ladies. Ladies, be careful, because the language is nasty. He's nasty. Rumble, you all right? You enjoying this, Rumble? Lord willing, I don't know if I'll be doing a stream tomorrow, because I got to go to a missions test and I teach at a Catholic church tomorrow, God willing. We'll see. We'll see what we'll do. All right, here you go. Here's Muhammad. These guys that talk about, hey, don't be shut up, you stone-licking Shia bastards. Now watch here. Sahih, right? Sahih. Al-Adab al-Mufrad, book 41, Hadith 963, compiled by Al-Bukhari. Sahih sound. 41 gestures, 436 chapter. Ubay bin Damura said, I saw with Ubay a man who was attributing himself in lineage with an attribution of Jahiliyyah, boasting about his lineage. So Ubay told him to bite his father's male organ and did not speak figuratively. He was explicit. So he didn't say organ. He used the very graphic language. There are ladies here. I can't repeat it. Ladies, can I repeat what was literally said? Can I say it? There's no kids, right? Can you guys, I'm going to give you guys about 30 seconds to tell you what it means. Ladies, literally, I'm going to say it in English and Assyrian for the Assyrians. No kids, right? All right. Literally, he said, go bite your father's dick. Go bite your father's dick. So if I say it in Assyrian, Qurut erit babuch. Qurut erit babuch. That's what Ubay said. Now, where did he learn that from? Where did he learn that from? Muhammad. So his companions looked at him. He said, it appears that you disapprove of it. Then he said, I will never show apprehension to anyone with regard to this. Verily, I heard the Prophet, Muhammad, his example, say, whomever attributes himself in lineage with an attribution of Jahiliyyah, then tell him to bite his father's dick, not male organ, and do not speak figuratively, be explicit. Sahih. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. But a teeny peanut by the way. All right. Now, what about Muhammad's companions? Okay, ladies, get ready. This is also found in Mishkat al-Masabih. Ubay bin Ka'b he heard God's messenger say, if anyone probably has sensed his descent in the manner of the pre-Islamic people, tell him to bite his father's penis. Bite your dad's dick off. And do not use a euphemism. It is transmitted in Sharh as-Sunnah. Okay? Here, what did Abu Bakr say to the pagans? This comes from Tarikh al-Tabari, volume 8, page 76. Then Urwa said, Muhammad, tell me, if you extirpate your tribesmen, if you exterminate them, have you ever heard of any of the Arabs who destroyed his own race before you? And if the contrary comes to pass, by God, Wallah, I see both prominent people and rabble who are likely to flee and leave you. Abu Bakr said, go suck Alat's clit. Go lick her clit, you bastard. Alat is the pagan goddess. So Abu Bakr told the pagan, go suck Alat's clitoris off. Go lick her clit, you bastard. I believe I can fly. I gave you the link to the article, guys. Alat was the idol of Thaqif, which they used to worship. Would we flee and leave him? So then, this book gives advice to Muslims. This is from Imam Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, the student of Ibn Taymiyyah. In Provisions for the Hereafter, Mukhtasar Zad al-Ma'ad, translating English, page 383. What does he say? And in the words of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq to Urwa, suck Alat's clitoris, you little bastard. Narrated by Ahmed on the authority of Ubay bin Ka'b. This is this hadith. Number 2, I didn't know why I didn't add it. I didn't add number 2. That's okay, fine. Sorry. There's a person, look, he's going to use this to show there is a time and place where you can use foul language. There is a permissibility of speaking plainly in the name of private parts. In other words, you can use dick, clit, pussy. I'm just telling you. This is what it's saying. Okay? There's a permissibility of speaking plainly in the name of private parts if there is some benefit to be gained thereby. Just as see Muhammad permitted a plain response to the one who made the claims of the Jahiliyyah, i.e. claims of tribal spirituality, by saying, bite your father's penis. So he's saying, see, Muhammad's example and Abu Bakr's example sets a precedence. We can use plain language to describe private parts when there's a need. So I can say to someone, go fight your father's dick off, all right? And you, go lick her clit, you little bastard.